Ladies and gentlemen, history is not written in silence. It is written in the fire of bold decisions and the roar of those who dare to lead when the world watches in doubt. Today, the ground just shifted. Two of the world's greatest democracies, the United States and India, are closing in on a deal that could rewrite the future. Not just trade, not just strategy. We're talking about legacy, power realigned, alliances reborn. And while the world holds its breath, one nation has been left out in the cold, because this isn't business as usual. It's a new era, a new game, and only those who are ready to rise will be invited to play. Today, as the world watches with bated breath, two giants, the United States and India, are stepping into a new era. This isn't just another international handshake. This is a moment that reminds us that strength respects strength, that vision recognizes vision, that when two nations forged in struggle, built on values, and powered by relentless ambition come together, the world changes. This deal being confirmed as very close is not just about economics. It's not just about trade agreements, military partnerships, or geopolitical maneuvering. It's about purpose. It's about alignment. It's about rewriting the rules in ink bold enough that the rest of the world can't ignore it. For too long, we've seen a world defined by passive diplomacy and backroom negotiations. But this moment, this potential deal, isn't wrapped in red tape. It's wrapped in resolve. India, a nation of over 1 billion voices, standing tall with a legacy rooted in resilience. And America, the symbol of unbreakable willpower, built by dreamers who never took no for an answer. Together, they aren't just allies, they're a force that believes in freedom over fear, in progress over pause, in action over apathy. Understand something. This partnership is not accidental. It is the product of decades of struggle, sacrifice, and relentless pursuit of greatness. These are two nations that never waited for a seat at the table. They built their own, from the soil of innovation, from the steel of determination, from the fire of a shared dream, that democracy will lead, not just survive. That economic strength isn't just a matter of wealth, it's a matter of will. And right now, that will is surging. Look at the streets of Bengaluru. The buzz of innovation matches the pulse of Silicon Valley. Look at the entrepreneurial explosion from Texas to Telangana. It's not coincidence, it's alignment. These are not just two countries doing business. These are two mindsets that know how to push through the pain, how to endure the impossible, and how to win without asking for permission. Because this deal, it's about more than contracts. It's about building a bridge between ambition and action, and that bridge is already forming. But here's the twist. While the United States and India rise, others are watching from the sidelines, not by exclusion, but by decision. The cold shoulder sent in this deal is not a petty move. It's a message to the global stage. If you hesitate in times of clarity, if you remain silent when boldness is required, you will be left behind. Japan, once a critical voice in Asia's strategic theater, now finds itself distanced, not because of bad blood, but because the tide has moved. And indecision is a choice. In this era, you can't play the middle ground. You're either pushing forward, or you're standing still, and standing still means you're already losing. The energy between the U.S. and India is electric. It's built on mutual respect, shared threats, and a burning desire to shape the future instead of reacting to it. Every policy move, every handshake, every signed document will send ripples across the globe. This isn't just about GDPs and military contracts. It's about identity, about planting a flag and saying, we're here, and we're not waiting for anyone else's approval. And you, yes you, whether you're watching this in a village in Punjab or a suburb in Pennsylvania, need to hear this. This moment belongs to you. This is a reminder that when power aligns with purpose, there's nothing that can stop the outcome. It's a wake-up call for the hungry, the hard-working, and the hopeful. For those who are tired of watching others make the rules. For those who believe it's time to stand for something greater than comfort. We are witnessing a moment of clarity, where loyalty is rewarded, boldness is recognized, and history is being drafted by the hands of the relentless. This is not a time to stay quiet. It's a time to build, to lead, to own your place in the world. This deal is not the end of something. It's the ignition of something far bigger than any single agreement. It's the reminder that destiny favors those who show up, that progress is not polite, it's powerful. So let the world listen. This isn't business as usual. This is what winning sounds like. Let the world pay attention. Silence. in diplomacy, is rarely an accident. When a deal of this magnitude approaches completion between two global powerhouses, like the United States and India, the absence of a name on the guest list is not a footnote, it's a statement. A cold shoulder in geopolitics is louder than any press release. And in this moment, one name is missing from the celebration: Japan. There was a time when Japan was the central axis of Indo-Pacific strategy, a nation admired for its discipline, technological might, and economic influence. But in this latest power move, it's not Japan's name lighting up headlines. It's not Japan at the front lines of this strategic leap forward. That silence, that's not diplomatic formality, that's deliberate. Because in the world of high-stakes alliance and future-defining decisions, there are no participation trophies. You're either in the arena, taking the hits and shaping the outcome, or you're in the audience, watching it unfold. Japan's absence in the inner circle of this U.S. India momentum tells a deeper story. This is not about punishment or exclusion. This is about pace, about clarity, about commitment. Because in 2025, the world doesn't have time for hesitation. The stakes are too high, the threats are too real. From growing authoritarian aggression, to economic volatility, to cyber warfare and space race realities, the margin for error is gone, and so is the patience for lukewarm allies. This moment is about alignment in values, in risk, in hunger. The U.S. and India are showing the world what it looks like when two nations decide to move together, with speed and certainty. They're not tiptoeing through diplomatic protocol. They're breaking out of the old molds and crafting a new strategic architecture, one that doesn't rely on legacy loyalty, but on present-day conviction. Let's be honest, the global order is not what it used to be. The era of slow talks and careful neutrality is over. We're living in a time of strategic urgency, and in this new world, being indecisive is being invisible. That's what this cold shoulder reflects. It's a hard truth, but the message is clear. If you're not actively driving the future, you're getting left in its dust. This isn't about turning on old friends. It's about turning toward those who are ready to run, those who are not afraid to bet big. And right now, India is showing that it's willing to take that leap, that it's not afraid of leadership, pressure, or the noise that comes with standing tall on the world stage. The U.S. sees that, respects that, and responds to that. Because in America's eyes, the world is not about keeping old alliances intact. It's about building the ones that matter most now. So when Japan gets the cold shoulder, it's not a betrayal, it's a wake-up call, a signal that leadership is earned daily, and even giants can be sidelined if they don't rise to the urgency of the hour. It's easy to rely on past relevance, on old reputations, but that doesn't cut it anymore. Not when the global economy is shifting at light speed, not when militaries are pivoting to space, AI, and cyber fronts, not when two of the world's largest democracies are aligning faster than ever, determined to push forward, with or without the approval of legacy frameworks. This moment is defining, and defining moments don't wait for everyone to catch up. They move with the ones who are ready. That's what the U.S.-India dynamic is all about right now. It's fire meeting fire, action meeting action, vision meeting execution, and those who don't match that frequency will feel the chill. So to the observers, understand this: the cold shoulder isn't cruel, it's calculated. It's not a closing of doors, it's the opening of a new one. But that door, it demands urgency, clarity, and strength. You can't knock politely, you have to kick it open with purpose. And right now, only a few are doing that. In the end, power doesn't wait for permission, it moves where the momentum is. And the world is watching this move closely, not just for what it builds, but for what it leaves behind. Because this isn't just about who's included, it's about who's ready, ready to lead, ready to act, ready to shape the next chapter. The U.S. and India, they're already inside. Everyone else, better decide fast. Winners don't wait for an invitation. Winners build the room, write the rules, and then break them when the world tells them you can't. That's what this deal between the United States and India represents. Not just an economic transaction, not just another checkbox in foreign policy. This is the embodiment of what it means to bet on yourself, to choose to win, to step forward when others hesitate, and to claim the future before anyone else even shows up to the starting line. This is what winners do. They don't look for comfort, they look for challenge. And right now, the U.S. and India are not just stepping into that challenge, they're owning it. Together they are writing a new playbook, one that doesn't apologize for ambition, one that doesn't play it safe to make others feel secure, one that says we see the opportunity, We see the risk and we're not afraid of either, because winners understand that greatness requires discomfort. It requires decisions that others will question. It requires boldness that scares people, and still they move. This deal signals a new alignment of priorities: military cooperation, technological collaboration, trade access, defense manufacturing, supply chain redesign, space exploration. You name it. These aren't just bullet points on a document. They are power levers. And winners, they know how to pull those levers without hesitation. India is showing up to the table, not as a junior partner, but as a strategic equal, a rising power with its eyes wide open, its hands calloused from the climb, and its heart set on leadership. And America sees that. America sees that. America respects that. Because that's the very DNA of the United States: to look adversity in the eye and still push forward, to choose expansion when the world says retreat, to partner not out of charity, but out of mutual recognition that together two relentless nations can build something no one else can touch. From the deserts of Rajasthan to the factories of Ohio, from Hyderabad's tech corridors to the Pentagon's strategic rooms, this deal is not about convenience. It's about capacity, the capacity to innovate, to defend, to grow, and to lead. Let the critics talk. Let them analyze, speculate, and whisper behind closed doors. That's what followers do. Winners don't talk. They execute. While others wait for permission, winners move. While others measure risk, winners build resilience. This deal isn't trying to please everyone. It's designed to elevate those who are willing to bet big on a new world order.
And here's the truth: playing small doesn't protect you.
It only guarantees that you'll be forgotten. The nations that wait too long, that hesitate too much, that aim to keep everyone happy, they lose the momentum that winners chase every single day. India is no longer interested in waiting. It's no longer asking to be taken seriously. It's already in motion. And America sees that energy, that fire, and is responding in kind. This partnership is not passive. It's aggressive in the best way. Aggressive in its hunger. Aggressive in its readiness. Aggressive in its intent to reshape global power structures. Not to destroy others, but to build a new balance. One led by freedom, by enterprise, and by courage. Courage to walk alone when necessary. Courage to take heat. Courage to lead out loud. Look around you. The world is shifting, and the tectonic plates of influence are moving fast. Winners adapt. Winners anticipate. Winners act. And this moment, this deal is the act of two nations refusing to be defined by the past, refusing to apologize for their strength, refusing to slow down just because others haven't caught up. This isn't arrogance, it's clarity, the kind of clarity that only comes when you've been forged in fire, when your people have struggled, sacrificed, built from scratch, when you've had to climb with no map, no shortcut, and no safety net. That kind of journey produces something different. It produces winners. And when winners find each other, they don't compete, they collaborate, they lift each other, they multiply their power, they change the game. So don't get it twisted. This deal is not about exclusion, it's about elevation. It's not about leaving others behind. It's about moving fast enough that they have to choose to catch up, because the world doesn't wait for the slow. It never has. And now, with America and India walking shoulder to shoulder, unapologetically forward, the message is clear. Winners don't watch history, they make it. If you're hearing this right now, whether you're sitting in a high-rise office in Mumbai, walking the busy streets of Brooklyn, or tuning in from a rural village in Tamil Nadu, understand one thing: this moment is bigger than a news headline. This isn't just about world leaders shaking hands or flags standing side by side. This is a call to every fighter, every underdog, every soul that's ever been told they weren't enough, weren't ready, or weren't meant for something greater. Because this deal between the United States and India isn't just a shift in global strategy, it's a mirror. It reflects what's possible when belief meets boldness. It shows what happens when two nations decide to stop waiting for the world's permission and start building the future on their own terms. It's a message to every dreamer watching from the sidelines: you don't need to be invited to the table, you build your own. This is your wake-up call to rise, to move, to take that risk you've been afraid to take. Because the world doesn't change for those who wait, it changes for those who act. India and the U.S. are acting now, without hesitation, without apology. And if these two nations, one born from revolution, the other from centuries of resistance and resilience, can rise together and reshape the world, then you can rewrite your own story too. Let's stop pretending that change is a slow burn. Sometimes, it's a spark. Sometimes, it's a decision made in the heart,
Followed by action so loud the world can't ignore it.
That's what this deal is. It's a spark. And sparks, when they fall into the right hands,
Light wildfires.
So the question is, what are you going to do with this moment? Are you going to scroll past it? Are you going to wait for someone else to carry the torch? Or are you going to rise with it? Because this alignment between America and India isn't just about power. It's about people. People like you.
People who wake up every morning with more questions than answers, but keep moving anyway. People who carry generations of hope in their blood.
Hey.
People who know that survival isn't the goal. Domination is. This isn't just politics. This is purpose. This is about proving to the world, and to yourself, that your future isn't dictated by your past, it's forged by your fight. And right now the fight is on. The world is changing, the rules are bending, and the future is up for grabs, but only for those who are bold enough to reach for it. Understand something deep. History doesn't remember those who stayed comfortable. It remembers those who were relentless, those who showed up every day, even when no one clapped, those who worked in silence while the world mocked. And then one day, the world watched, because they couldn't look away anymore. That's what the U.S. and India are doing now. Not asking to be noticed, forcing the world to notice. So whether you're a young coder in Bangalore, with a dream bigger than your paycheck, or a kid in the Bronx, who's never left your neighborhood, but sees the stars when you close your eyes,
Know this. You are part of something bigger.
you are connected to this moment, this alliance, this fire. And if you choose to move with it, there's nothing you can't do. But make no mistake,
This.
this isn't for the low bait. This isn't for the timid. The path forward is paved with risk, with resistance, with rejection, but it's also paved with glory, with pride, with legacy. And if you're willing to bleed for it, sweat for it, cry for it, then it belongs to you. This is your call to rise, to dream without permission, to fight like you mean it. To show the world that greatness doesn't come from comfort, it comes from conviction, from courage, from climbing when no one believes in you but you. The kind of courage that builds nations, the kind of fire that forges partnerships, capable of shifting the entire balance of power on the
Ends. So stop waiting. Stop second guessing. Start moving.
Because this isn't just a deal, it's a declaration, and declarations like this aren't made quietly. They're shouted by those who dare to be loud, bold and unbreakable. The future is not given, it is taken, and right now, it's calling your name. God. So now we stand here, on the edge of something enormous, not just as nations, but all
People.
people who have fought, fallen, and written, people who have refused to let history define their destiny. This moment, this deal, this shift in global energy, it's not just politics, it's proof that when two forces commit to building, growing, and leading together, they become unstoppable. Think about where we've come from. The United States, built on backs of revolutionaries, who chose liberty over comfort. India, born from the struggle of millions, who said no to oppression, and yes to freedom, over and over again. These aren't soft nations, these are forged nations, forged in hardship, tempered in the fire of resistance. And when two stories like that find each other, not to compete, but to collaborate, they don't just shift the balance of power, they set a new one. This is not about who gets left behind, it's about who's ready to go forward. The world won't wait, power doesn't sit still, and those who try to play it safe will watch from the sidelines, as the future is written without them. That's the lesson here, that's the hard truth, and that's exactly why this moment matters so much, because it's not just about defense contracts, or trade routes, it's not even just about shared threats, it's about shared belief, a belief in freedom, a belief in courage, a belief that our best days are not behind us, but right in front of us, if we have the guts to go after them. India and the United States aren't joining hands because it's convenient, they're joining hands because it's necessary, because the world is at a crossroads, and if the future is going to be defined by anyone, it better be defined by those who believe in freedom over fear, in progress over politics, in action over excuses. But here's the thing, this isn't just about governments, it's about you, because every time the world takes a step forward, it needs people, individuals, who are willing to do the same, people who are willing to push a little harder, stand a little taller, and dream a little bigger, people who refuse to wait for permission to be great, people who hear the noise, feel the fear, and move anyway. You don't need to be in a boardroom to make change. You don't need to wear a uniform to be this same conviction that drove two nations to stand shoulder to shoulder and say, we're not backing down. That energy, it's in you, in your idea, in your choices, in your hustle. So when you hear when you watch this shift in power, don't think, that's not for me. No, it's for you. It's a reminder that the world is always moving, and if you want something, you move with it. Let others sleep, let others doubt, let others wait, but not you, not me. This is your time. This is our time to rise, to lead, to build something that lasts longer, something that echoes through history. Because at the end of the day, deals are signed by leaders, but destinies, they're written by doers. And right now, two of the boldest nations on earth have chosen to do more than talk. They've chosen to act. So ask yourself, what will you do? Because the world is watching, and the clock is ticking, and the door to the future, it's wide open. Step through it, not with fear, but with fire.